Scott Schober here. Beautiful day in New York City. We're in Manhattan, the financial district, for an exciting event, the Cyber Investing Summit. Why don't we go inside and join the event? Come on. Today we're going to be announcing the Cybersecurity 500 list. Can't wait to see who's on the list.
Every year things change. Yes, we always know that there are vulnerabilities and threats, but what are the investors looking at as what are the next areas that we need to defend ourselves against? There's certainly a demand. Is the supply ready yet? So we want to see these ideas, but we also want to see what companies, what products are coming to market. And I think we'll see a lot of that today.
Why are we here today? What brings us all to this event? Well, just a few weeks ago, reflecting back at RSA in San Francisco, many of us are familiar with that. I had the privilege of speaking there, and presentation after presentation, we heard about cyber breaches and statistics and the continual problems that we have in the world of cyber and how it affects each and every one of us. In fact, the Secretary of DHS, Department of Homeland Security, recently shared research from Cybersecurity Ventures at the RSA conference in San Francisco a few weeks ago. In her keynote address, she informed us, all attendees there, that global cybercrime damages are expected to cost the world $6 trillion annually by 2021, up from $3 trillion in 2015. In fact, Cybersecurity Ventures predicts that the world will spend $1 trillion cumulatively on cybersecurity products and services. $1 trillion over the next 5-year period from 2017 to 2021. Cybersecurity Ventures is excited to announce its first ever annual Cybersecurity 500 list of the world's most hottest and most innovative companies. We're going to be hearing from Bob Ackerman. He's on the board of directors for several cybersecurity companies. Many of you probably know him. And many of the companies he's on the board with actually are on this Cybersecurity 500 list. Very exciting. Dragos, vArmor, CallSign. Bob also served on the board for some Cybersecurity 500 companies which went into successful exits. Very interesting, is it not? We have Tom Kellerman. He'll be presenting today. We want to pay close attention. He's the Chief Cybersecurity Officer of Carbon Black, a hot company, again, on the Cybersecurity 500 list. The Cybersecurity 500 gives the same convenience and wisdom to people interested in the cybersecurity industry. IT departments, analysts, journalists, and consumers now have great lists from which to learn about the industry and its current providers. The Cybersecurity 500 list also offers a great window into emerging technologies from newer firms, which often solve problems about which everyone knows, but has been unable to address. This was stated by Joseph Steinberg, who's a well-known cybersecurity expert, entrepreneur, author, speaker, former Inc. columnist covering cybersecurity, and one of today's speakers. Cyber defense has never been more critical than it is today. And the Cybersecurity 500 recognizes the companies to watch on the front lines of the battle, stated Dave DeWalt. Dave DeWalt is a cybersecurity legend in the making, says Steve Morgan, who's the founder and CEO of Cybersecurity Ventures. Dave has helped more cybersecurity companies start up and grow than anyone I've known in my 20-plus years in the security industry. When he sits on a board, it's not just as a figurehead. Dave mentors founders and CEOs based on his string of major success in the software industry. Most recently, chairman and CEO of FireEye, which was the #1 company on the Cybersecurity 500 list. David DeWalt is chairman, vice chairman, and the board of directors for several cybersecurity companies which appear on this distinguished list for 2018, including Optiv, Clarity, Elusive Networks, Forescout, ForgeRock. And Dave DeWalt is at Momentum Cyber, co-founder and chairman, and Allegis Cyber managing director. So now we want to take a time to please welcome David DeWalt as he heads us into our keynote that we certainly all anticipate. David.
All right.
It was awesome. You had the whole crowd at the edge of their seats. You said you could talk for hours about cybersecurity investing. We want to hear a little bit more. Anything else that we missed?
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Cybersecurity is such a passion for me after 2 decades of doing this. It's a love, and it's a very scary thing too. Watching kind of what I've seen in cybersecurity. Everything from my McAfee days to my FireEye days, and everything. It's changed a lot, but in a lot of ways, it's got to be a little scarier place. Watching the number of nation states that have offensive capabilities, the amount of infrastructure that's at risk now versus just your computer or at home or your network. So just watching the evolution has been really interesting. I talked a little bit about satellites and industrial systems, and many of our critical infrastructure components have a bigger risk than they've ever had before, which gives a great cyber investing opportunity too. But lots out there.